If you've been playing Genshin for more than 2 years, you've probably heard of something called a Genshin routine. In short, it's basically how you play the game, your daily habits, and things you prioritize. Now let's be real. Some routines include tasks that honestly don't affect much in the game but just take way too much time, like exploration. And I'll be honest, my Genshin account is struggling right now. I'm low on fragile resin, EXP books, and even Mora, which is pretty rare for me if I'm being honest. And if, like me, you have college or a job, you simply just don't have much time to grind in the game for materials that are probably not even going to last you a week or more. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Lynx, and today I'll be showing you my personal Genshin routine. What I do to not only save time, but also save me resin and materials. I've split the video into 3 main sections: things I do daily, things I do weekly, things I do occasionally, and things I should be doing, but I'm just honestly too lazy to do. Okay, I lied, there's 4 sections. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing I do when I log on is daily commissions. I usually condense my resin if it's capped, then collect my rewards. This saves me about 15 minutes a day because now commissions only take a few seconds. I don't typically do commissions unless I need character mats in a new region. So, for example, when that link came out, I did commissions for about 2 weeks to save myself the hassle of farming character materials later when I actually needed them. And I also did commissions again for Aurora's Ascension mats because he needed the Saurian drops, which is basically in every commission. Next thing I usually do is crystal fly hunting. I typically only do 2 spots and they're in Fontaine because they give a lot. And also saves me the trouble of doing a crystal fly farming routine. Those are genuinely horrendous to do. I really don't like them. The first spot is near Nervy's talent book domain, and that's usually how I remember it. It gives 3 crystal flies, which isn't too much if I'm being honest, but that's where the second spot comes in. It's underwater in a cave and it gives you 6. I do this every day so I never run out of crystal flies. I never have to bother to go collect them when I'm farming. That means I'm getting about 9 crystal flies every day, which is 63 crystal flies every week. And even if I don't do this every day, 9 crystal flies a day is still a good amount. But sometimes I do still find myself running a little low on crystal flies, especially with how many characters I build. So I'll just use the crystal fly trap gadget. This gadget saves me a lot of time and energy and also keeps my supply steady because I'd be getting a guaranteed 15 crystal flies per week. You can obtain it from Fontaine level 3 reputation and it's super ridiculously easy to use. You just put whatever crystal chunks you want into it and voila, crystal flies. The only problem I have with this is that it has a wait time of 7 days, which I find literally freaking ridiculous if I'm being honest. But for 15 crystal flies, I mean, hey, it's not too bad. This added to the 63 crystal flies you get from the 2 spots I already showed you is 78 crystal flies per week, which you gotta admit is a pretty good damn amount. Another gadget I typically use every week is the parametric transformer. I usually use it especially if I'm low on materials. Because like imagine you're like basically short of 1 book and you're trying to like level your favorite character's talent, and then when you remember you have it and it actually gives you the book you need, and then you're able to level the character's talents now. Like that has happened to me, like although that is very rare, it only happened like twice to me. But if you use the parametric transformer weekly, over time you'll have like a stockpile of talent books which will save you resin when farming resources. For those who don't know or for those who don't have it, you can obtain the parametric transformer after you complete a quest from Lon and Leeway Harbor. When you get it, you can just put any excess materials you don't need into it, and it converts it into useful materials like Mora, character XP, talent books, and weapon ascension mats. Note that the tier of the material does not affect what tier of materials it gives you in return, but unlike the crystal fly trap, it gives you the materials instantly, no wait time. You only have to wait 7 days to use it again, hence why it's in the weekly category. Another thing that I typically do on a weekly basis is buying ingredients for food. Yeah, I know. I love food, okay? I especially love the food in Genshin. And you might be thinking, how does this even save you time? Well, it doesn't. I just really like food. But no, seriously though, cooking food in bulk for about once a week for 5 minutes can save you a decent amount of time. It decreases the amount of time you would spend teleporting between domain runs or when questing because you ran out of food and don't have a healer, or don't have one built like me. This saves you about 20 minutes extra every week in the long run, especially when having a long character building session. Cooking also gives you Battle Pass EXP, which leads me to the next thing I usually do in a week, the Battle Pass. If I'm being honest, I never really used to do the Battle Pass a lot of the time because I always thought it didn't really give you that much rewards, or rewards that were like actually worth your while for the time you spent playing the game. But like recently with its like, I guess fairly new update where you can like basically choose what rewards you want, like customize it or whatever, I have been doing it religiously, I feel like, because it gives you the sanctifying unction, is what you call it? Yeah, which you can like use to level up your artifacts, which honestly has saved me more times than I can really count. And it also gives you standard wishes, which you can use on the standard banner, but also on the upcoming Chronicle Wish banner in 5.3. Y'all, Shanna and Baiju have finally made it out of the basement. I'm gonna be trying to pull for Baiju. Keyword trying. I don't have many wishes to begin with, but hopefully I'll get lucky. So next up on the list is Laylines. Now I do these about 3 to 4 times a week because I run out of character XP quite often now. Currently I'm kind of stockpiling them because next year I'm going to be building a lot of characters. Because I have a lot of videos planned. More on that later, by the way. But I have a feeling I'm going to be doing Laylines every day from next year, at least 1 or 2 more times per week. But yeah, I typically do Laylines anytime I have like condensed resin in my inventory. I just take it and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do Laylines. It's like a secondary task that I do, like if I already did all my important tasks, so like daily commissions or even artifact farming that I do. And more importantly, currently there's the Leyline Overflow event, which is like basically perfect. It was perfectly timed because right now my account is in shambles. Like I literally need character EXP. Like I'm basically broke. But anyway, on to artifact farming. Now, if I'm being honest, I only do artifact farming when I have to actually farm for a character for a video that I'm doing. I don't typically do it outside of that, but sometimes if I, want to improve a character's build, I will go condense my resin ahead of time to farm for this character. Like currently right now I'm farming for both Al-Haytham and Dendro Traveler because they use the same artifacts from the same domain, which is Deepwood and then the other set that I can never remember the name of. But yeah, that's typically what I do when it comes to artifact farming. I don't spend too much time on it because again, it's very RNG based, so why even bother? I would rather spend my time doing things like talents or character level, which leads me to the next thing I usually do in the week, which is the weekly bosses. Now, typically I would choose specific days for weekly boss farming. So like if I want to farm for more than one character, let's say Sucrose, Auron, and maybe like Al-Haytham in this case, I will choose 3 separate days where I like go farm those specific weekly bosses. And typically I'll do weekly bosses in co-op because it literally saves you time. Like I don't know who would do weekly bosses alone because it takes you a lot longer that way, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's typically all I do when it comes to weekly bosses. Now for the last thing on the list, which is things I should be doing but I'm simply too lazy to do, this section covers exploration and artifact fodder farming. If I'm being honest, the one thing these things both have in common is that they simply take too much time and do not affect that much in the game. Like for exploration, you could spend hours exploring and probably get yourself like 2 10 pulls, but like even then it might not give you the 5-star that you want. And for artifact fodder farming, you could probably get yourself to level up maybe 3 artifacts and they're not guaranteed to even be good because again, RNG based. But yeah, that's literally typically what I do on a weekly, daily, and occasional basis in this game, if I'm being honest. Again, this is how I play the game. This may not be how you play the game, and that is totally fine. People have different ways of enjoying games. So with all that being said, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed the video, what you typically do when playing the game, and if you have any tips when it comes to saving more time or even more resin. And yeah, this video was kind of like my voice reveal. I know, surprise, but you'll be hearing more from me next year, especially with the bunch of videos I have planned, like bunch of series. Yes, series, but well, you'll just have to wait and see. And as I'm recording this, I see we have reached over 121 subs, which is crazy to me to even think about. Thank you guys so much. I genuinely didn't even think the Sucrose video would blow up that much. Like, I literally, as I'm recording this, the video has reached 1,300 views, which is insane. Thank you guys so much for the love and support on that video. And yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.